Do you consider yourself to have an agricultural background?
Yes, I do consider myself to have an agricultural background. I grew up on a production ag farm just south of Kansas City in west central Missouri. My parents are full time farmers. They have row crops and beef cattle. Growing up, I was also very involved in 4 H and FFA, so I have that strong background as well. I have a degree in general agriculture as my bachelor's, and then my master's is agricultural communications. And now I am an instructor at Missouri State in the area of agricultural communications, so I'd say agriculture is kind of my life.
When you think of the word agriculture, what words or phrases come to mind?
The first thing that comes to mind is food, traditions, people that believe so much in taking care of others and feeding the world that they're devoting their livelihoods to that. It's more than a job. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of living. It's beliefs and values and family and hard work.
What do you think about America's food system? Do you think it's safe?
Yes, I absolutely believe that the American food system is safe, and in my opinion, the safest food system in the entire world, because we have a ton of agencies set up to kind of be the watchdogs for food and agriculture, but you also just have the average farmer that they're there to produce the safest food for Americans and consumers, because they're going to be the ones eating that food as well. And so I think with government agencies and farmers all looking out for, the betterment of Americans, that we have a very safe food system.
How do you think farmers treat their livestock?
Oh, humanely, absolutely. You know what a lot of people, I think, don't realize is that livestock is the way a lot of farmers make money, and so it's their livelihood. If they're going to mistreat animals, then it's going to negatively affect their bottom line. And no, farmers aren't going to treat animals humanely just because it's about money. They care about the animals, and they want to make sure that they're treated humanely because that's a moral and a belief that they have. But at the same time, it is a business, and so they have to keep that in mind. And if they're treating them poorly, they're going to lose animals, so they're going to lose money. They're not going to be as healthy or make as much when they go to the sale, and so they have to treat them humanely for the business aspect. But also, yes, there are bad apples, but 99.9% of farmers out there are going to care for the well-being of their animals.
Do you believe in animal rights?
No, I don't.
Explain the difference between animal rights and animal welfare.
The idea of animal rights is that animals should receive the same consideration as humans. So, you could go as far to say is that down the road, an animal could have the same rights in a court of law. So let's say in the world of animal rights that you make your dog mad, your dog could take you to court because you're not feeding them the right food, or something to that drastic example. Animal welfare is simply the idea of caring for the well-being of an animal. And no, they're not on the same level as humans, but they deserve the same consideration for their well-being.
Do you think that GMOs are healthy for consumption?
I believe that they are healthy, absolutely.
What does GMO stand for?
GMOs are genetically modified organisms.
What percentage of farms are factory farms? What percent is family-owned?
So the ratio to corporate to family-owned farms would be about 97-98% family farms to that 2 or 3% corporate farms. And, a big thing that people don't realize is that just because a farm is incorporated or maybe on paper a corporate farm, they're still family owned because they're working with a company or they've incorporated themselves for tax purposes or business purposes.